Hello everyone. So this is a part 3 video of function generator. In the earlier two videos you've seen the prerequisites required to study the block diagram of a function generator, and once you are introduced to all those four prerequisites, now let me start with the explanation for the block diagram of function generator. So we start with this. This is the block diagram. Okay. Yes. Fine. Okay, let me take you through all these different blocks. First of all, let us not forget that a function generator is the one which is going to give me different functions at its output. It is going to give me square wave, triangular wave, sine wave. So let me सबसे पहले have a look at the output part. That is the right side वाला part. Can you see you have a square wave shown here? This is output 1. Then we have a triangular wave shown here. This is the output 2. And we have a sine wave shown here, which is mentioned as output 3. So these are the three outputs of the function generator. So I hope you've understood that this is our aim. To get these three outputs is our aim of this entire block diagram. For that we have the different circuits. So let me show you now from the left hand side. From the left hand side, this is a resistance divider circuit or a potential divider circuit, which I explained in the earlier video. So ऊपर वाली तरफ you are giving some voltage, नीचे वाली तरफ it is connected to ground, and if you can see, this is the wiper. Have a look. Wiper I have written here, and that wiper is shown somewhere over here. As I told you people last time, that wiper ka position can be changed. Okay, so that's a potential divider circuit, and with the help of this potential divider circuit, then it goes to the frequency control network. The frequency control network ka output is in turn going to two blocks. If you can see, this block is the upper constant current source, and it is also going to the lower constant current source. And then the output of the first block and the output of the lower block, that is upper current source and lower current source, dono ka bhi output is going to the next block, which is called as the integrator. This also we have studied in the earlier videos. The output of this integrator is then going to the voltage comparator or the Schmitt trigger, which also we have seen in the earlier videos. Then the output of this is going to amplifier. This integrator ka output is again going to amplifier, as you can see here, and this integrator ka output is also going to resistance and diode wave shaping circuit, the output of which is going to amplifier number 3, the output which is shown here. Okay, so I have just taken you through all the blocks which are present in a function generator. Now that we know majority of the blocks separately, let us just assemble them together to understand how the function generator works. So starting with this, wiper ka position can change in the potential divider circuit. Hence the voltage at the wiper changes. So if the voltage at the wiper changes, I mean if you keep the wiper at this position, there will be a specific voltage which appears at the wiper, and that wiper ka voltage is in turn supplied to the upper current source, constant current source, and it is also applied to the constant lower current source. So what is this frequency control network? Frequency control network is simply a block which is, this is internal. So externally, this will be connected to a knob on the front panel of the function generator, जहाँ पे frequency का knob रहेगा. So externally, what you do is you change the value, you change the frequency वाला knob from the front panel of the function generator, जिसके वजह से this wiper का position will change. It will either move upwards or downwards, because of which the voltage appearing at the wiper will change, because of which that voltage will then in turn go to both these blocks, upper constant current source and lower constant current source. Okay. Now, what is this? It's a constant current source. The name tells me that it is responsible to provide some constant current. Yes. So the constant current source, the name itself tells you that this block is responsible to provide Yeah, the constant current source, the name itself tells me that this block is responsible to provide a constant current to the further block. So this provides some constant amount of current. So the amount of current which this block provides depends on whom? It depends on the voltage which is given to its input, and the input voltage is given by whom? It is given by the wiper ka position. So depending on the position of the wiper, some voltage is set at the wiper, and that voltage will then go to the upper as well as a lower constant current source. Because it's present at the top, this is called as upper constant current source, and because this is present at the lower side, it's called as a lower constant current source. Now, the upper current source, constant current source, it gives some current to the next block, whereas the lower constant current source gives opposite current to the next block. In the sense, if this source provides some current to the next block, this lower current source takes some current from the next block. So this source can also be said that it is sourcing some current, or it is giving some current to the integrator. Whereas lower constant current source, because it takes some current from the integrator, you say that it is sinking some current from the integrator inside itself. Hence, if you can see that the arrow over here is shown from the upper current source towards the integrator, and here the arrow for the current is shown from the integrator to the lower constant current source. So this provides the current, and this takes the current from the integrator. Right? Now what does the integrator do? Integrator, as you people know, that if you provide a square waveform at the input, it is going to give a triangular waveform at the output. So it's but obvious. Suppose I say initially, one more thing I forgot to tell you, that to the integrator, let me tell you, not both these blocks are connected at the same time. So this integrator will be connected to either the upper constant current source or the lower constant current source at a time. Suppose I say that the upper constant current source is now connected to the integrator, which means obviously this is disconnected. So if this is connected to the integrator, which means the integrator is receiving some amount of current, it is receiving some amount of current, but hope you understand that this is providing a constant current. So which means because the current applied is constant in the sense it is a straight line. So when that you are applying a straight line wala current to the integrator, the capacitor which is present inside the integrator will charge, and it will give you an ascending slope. I had explained it last time. So it will give you an ascending slope, and then that ascending slope wala jo output hai, that is given to the comparator. It's given to the Schmitt trigger or the voltage comparator. But you know, when this slope is increasing, this when it reaches to its peak value, is peak value pe rahega reference voltage. I don't know how do I explain you this, but yes. So if this is the ascending slope पे when it reaches to the peak value, यहाँ पे आएगा एक reference voltage. Why आएगा reference voltage? Because in this multi vibrator or in this Schmitt trigger, we have already set some plus V reference and minus V reference. तो integrator के output में जो ascending slope आता है, that ascending voltage, when it keeps on going higher, but the moment it reaches its peak value, or the moment it reaches the plus V reference ka value which is set in the Schmitt trigger, immediately the output in the Schmitt trigger, if you can see, the moment it reaches the peak value, the output in the Schmitt trigger should go low. Right? So the same thing has been shown here, that integrator ka output is an ascending slope. The voltage keeps on increasing, but the moment it tries to cross plus V reference ka value, the output of the voltage comparator goes low logic. Okay, and when it goes low logic, then the same feedback from the Schmitt trigger or the comparator is given to the upper current source, as well as the feedback is given to the lower constant current source. So which means that because the comparator has given a low logic, now the upper constant current source will understand that the output of the Smith trigger has become low, so I should disconnect myself from the integrator. So the upper constant current source will disconnect itself from the integrator. But at the same time, the feedback from the Smith trigger is also given to the lower constant current source. And when the lower constant current source understands that यहाँ का output has become low, so now I was earlier disconnected, now I should connect myself to the integrator. So which means that when the Smith trigger ka output becomes low over here, the upper constant current source gets disconnected from the integrator and the lower constant current source gets connected to the integrator. Okay, so when the lower constant current source gets connected to the integrator, let's understand what happens. When this gets connected to the integrator, let me tell you that the capacitor which is present in the integrator does not have any path to charge itself. So the capacitor will start discharging itself through the lower constant current source, and that is the reason it is said that the current is taken from the integrator towards the lower constant current source. Okay, so the capacitor starts discharging. अब everyone knows that when the capacitor starts discharging, ये जो slope peak तक गया था, positive peak तक गया था, now the slope starts decreasing because the voltage across the capacitor starts decreasing. So this waveform will start reducing in itself. So you are getting a descending slope. So the voltage keeps on decreasing till you reach a point where that it is compared with minus reference voltage which is set in this block. अब ये ब्लॉक स्मिथ ट्रिगर का है या वोल्टेज कंपैरेटर का है, यहाँ पे माइनस रेफरेंस का वोल्टेज इज ऑलरेडी सेट इनसाइड. सो इंटीग्रेटर का आउटपुट व्हेन इट इज रिड्यूसिंग इन वोल्टेज, रिड्यूस होते होते देयर विल बी अ पॉइंट व्हेन इट विल ट्राई टू गो less than the minus reference, and the moment it tries to go less than the minus reference voltage, immediately the output of this comparator goes high. जो पहले लो था, now it tries to become high, and when the output of this comparator has gone high, the same feedback is going to the upper current source as well as to the lower current source. So when the upper current source receives a feedback कि voltage comparator का output high गया है, तो now I should connect myself to the integrator, and the lower current source will understand that I should now disconnect myself from the integrator. So अभी पहले जो कंडीशन था उसका बिल्कुल वाइस वर्सा होगा. The lower current source will get disconnected and the upper current source will get connected. Now the same cycle repeats itself. That is, when the upper current source is getting connected to the integrator, the capacitor in the integrator will start charging, and when it will start charging, again you will get an ascending slope. Ascending slope मिला है मतलब voltage is increasing. That voltage keeps on increasing till it tries to go beyond the plus reference voltage ka value. When it tries to go beyond plus V reference voltage ka value, the voltage of the comparator again goes low. When the voltage at the output of the comparator goes low, this will get disconnected, this will get connected, the capacitor discharges, you get a descending slope, this again goes high, and the same cycle keeps on repeating itself, which means that at the output of the integrator, you continuously keep on getting an ascending slope, descending slope, ascending slope, and a descending slope, which means that this in all forms a triangular waveform. At the same time, because you are continuously getting an ascending and descending slope at the output of integrator, which is going to the comparator, iska output will be continuously high, low, high, low, high, low. So it is as good as that you are getting a square waveform here. Now, please do not forget we were expected to get a triangular waveform and a square waveform at the output of a function generator. And at the output of a voltage comparator, we have already got a square waveform. But then the amplitude of that waveform is very small. So what you do is you give it to an amplifier. Amplifier is going to increase the strength of that square waveform so that at the output of the amplifier number 1, you get a square waveform which is amplified in nature, and this itself will be the first output of the function generator, that is we are getting a square waveform. Now we are also expected to get a triangular waveform, and if you remember, or rather as you can see here, integrator itself is giving me a triangular waveform. So integrator ke output mein I am getting a triangular waveform, but it is small in amplitude. So the same triangular waveform, if you can see from here, it is going to amplifier number 2. What does it do? It gives the output as the same triangular waveform but increased in amplitude. So if you can see, this is the same triangular waveform as you had obtained here, but the amplitude is more in strength. So this is the output number 2 of the function generator. So we've already obtained square waveform and triangular waveform. Now the next job of the function generator is also to obtain a sine waveform. To obtain a sine waveform, ये वाला जो triangular waveform है, it is also given to this particular block. Let's see what is written here. It's a resistance and diode wave shaping circuit. I have already told you what this circuit consists of. It consists of resistances and diode, and it shapes the triangular waveform to give at the output a sine waveform. So if the input is a triangular waveform, the output is a sine waveform which is lower in amplitude, hence it is given to an amplifier, and at the output of this I get an amplified sine waveform. So the aim of the function generator, which was to generate a square waveform, a triangular waveform and a sine waveform, has been fulfilled with the help of this block diagram. Now you might ask a question ki, okay, I mean these functions are generated fine, but how do I change the frequency? Please understand, I have already shown you that this is a frequency control network. Where is this connected? This is connected to the knob externally on the front panel of the function generator, जहाँ पे frequency लिखा है. तो अगर आप बाहर की तरफ से frequency वाला knob का पोजीशन चेंज करते हो तो इंटरनली वाइपर का पोजीशन चेंज होगा. व्हेन यू चेंज द पोजीशन ऑफ द वाइपर, which means the voltage at the wiper will change. Suppose pehle wala voltage was 3 volt, and when you have changed the position of the frequency knob over here, wiper has changed its position, and now instead of 3 volt the wiper is having a voltage as 5 volt. तो जो 3 volt पहले constant current sources पे जाता था, अभी instead of 3 volt the input that these current sources are receiving is 5 volt. So because the input has to these two blocks have changed, obviously the current which they are providing has also changed. So if the current which they are providing to the integrator has changed, it's but obvious that the output voltage which is generated by the integrator will be directly proportional to the input which is coming to the integrator. So if the output voltage changes, itself means that the slope of this ascending and descending triangular waveform will change. If the slope changes, itself means that the frequency of this triangular waveform has changed. And because the frequency of the triangular waveform has changed, you in turn can change the frequency of the square waveform as well as of the sine waveform. So that's about changing the frequency of the functions. I don't know how much clear this has become to you people, but that's about the overall working of the function generator. So let me just summarize this with the help of these waveforms. As you can see, different waveforms at the output of a function generator. You get a triangular waveform, you get a square waveform, you get a sine waveform. Please have a look that the time period of each of these waveforms is the same, which means if you try to change the time period, that is the frequency of the triangular waveform, in turn the frequency of the square waveform as well as of the sine waveform changes. Okay, so that's all about the function generator. So in short, function generator ka topic is over. In the next video, we will be starting with the next topic. Thank you.